So, may have come across one of the most interesting Easter eggs I've ever seen on Xenoverse 2. And this is something I did not even know was in the game. So shout out to the homie Shadow Saiyan 1, because without him, I would have never even known about this because, well, I've never heard about it or seen it discussed in the Xenoverse 2 community, whether it be on Twitter or YouTube. I've never seen anyone actually talk about or mention what I'm going to showcase for you guys in this video right here. And it is a very, very interesting Easter egg. Now, I'm sure some people may have found it, but again, I've never seen it discussed. And the reason it's probably never really been discussed too much is because a lot of people probably either did not buy the Legend Time Patrol pack, or if they did buy the Legend Time Patrol pack where you can go back and play Xenoverse 1 story, a lot of them probably did not actually pay attention to what the robot was actually saying. But the homie Shadow Saiyan 1 definitely found some interesting stuff that we're going to cover in this video. So again, huge shout out to the homie for this, because without him, I would never have seen this. So getting into the first message that he sent me, and by the way, I did ask him if he was cool with me actually sending the or showcasing these DMs, so shout out to him for that at the same time. Now he says, "Hey Cabby, hope all is well. There's actually something I wanted to show regarding Xeno's future. Have you ever talked to the robot that lets you play Xenoverse 1 story and decline to go on quests?" And that's another reason why most people probably may not have seen this, because you actually have to decline to go on the quest to see what the robot actually says. Now he says, "It says some very suspicious things that I've never seen anyone discuss or talk about. It's old stuff from back when the Switch version first came out." Now the reason he says that is because when the Switch version first came out, that's when the Legend Patrol pack became available. It was later released a couple years, like a year or two after that, for actual DLC for $11.99 on consoles if you wanted to buy it and actually play through it. So just keep that in mind. Now he goes on to say, "I thought it would be interesting to share with you and see what you think about it. It's a lot of photos I took documenting what it says from the very beginning." And I said, "Sure, I'll take a look. Sounds interesting." I did not think it would be nearly as interesting as it actually is. So let's jump right into these photos right here. I don't know why I scrolled down right there, but let's jump right into these photos where we're talking to the robot here. Or I'm not talking to the robot. These are screenshots from the homie Shadow Saiyan 1. Now the robot's name is Wipa or something like that. I don't really know. It kind of sounds like Wipa my ass. That's what I think of when I look at his name and I see Wipa. I just think of Wipa my ass. That's just me. Anyways, getting into what he says. He says, "This is just between me or you and me, but I can do something special that no other robot in Canton City can do. Using the Legend Patrol system, I can siphon off the energy generated during the alterations in history and..." Then he goes, "Beep, beep, beep, zap." Now, you guys will notice and see every time this robot says something interesting and kind of secretive to you, before he really goes into true detail about what the hell he's talking about, he'll go beep, beep, zap, like he just got an error and he's actually not supposed to be talking about what he just told you. And it was a mistake that he even said that. So let's take a look at the first thing that really pops off, and that's this right here, where he says, "Using the Legend Patrol system, I can siphon off the energy generated during the alterations in history end." Now, this immediately sounds like what the hell Few is doing in the DLC story mode we have been getting for like the last 4 to 5 DLCs. Ever since Few has come back as like some kind of villain where he has been altering the timelines, he has been doing it to siphon off the energy, and we literally see him take the energy into his blade at times during some of these quests. Well, that is exactly what the hell this robot is saying he's basically able to do with the Legend Patrol system when time patrollers go back and actually do the Xenoverse 1 story again. So that part jumped off to me immediately as insanely interesting. But it even gets way more interesting as you guys are about to see. Now right here, he says, "Oh, that's not good. Looks like I've said too much. Do me a favor and pretend I didn't say anything, okay?" Now, I said, whoa, that is interesting, because I thought that was all there was to show, but come to find out, there's a lot more. As you see, he says there's more, actually. Now, he says, "As you know, there are lots of robots here in Canton City, but only a few are allowed in the Time Nest. In other words, only the most elite of robots can come here. That's right, I'm elite just like you. The thing is, I'm different from the other robots in that a genius scientist..." Beep, beep, zap. Again, he has an error. Oh, is something wrong? Are you looking to go on Legend Patrol? So basically, he had an error again when he brought up this genius scientist. And he says that he's different because basically he was created by this genius scientist. That's what I'm getting from this, because he says the thing is, I'm different from the other robots in that a genius scientist ... most likely either created this man or altered this man in some kind of way with the Legend Patrol system, where he's actually able to siphon off that energy, and we don't know exactly what he's able to do with it, but clearly there is some kind of meaning behind it. Again, I don't know exactly what all this means, but it is definitely very, very interesting. Now there is more. We are not done yet at this point in time. Now he goes on to say, again, I think I might have told you before that the Legend Time Patrol system was created ... using Capsule Corporation technology. That kind of threw me off. But then he goes on to say, but the truth is, it was actually a scientist from the demon realm who, once again, beep beep zap. Huh? That's weird. Did I say something out of the ordinary just now? So once again, we hear something about a scientist, and now we know he's from the demon realm. This really is starting to get extremely interesting at this point in time. Who is this scientist in the demon realm doing something very similar, it seems, with the Legend Patrol system that Few is actually doing when he's altering the timelines and gathering the energy that way? This, again, just gets very, very interesting to me, and it really has me thinking, like, why would they put this in the game? Why would they not mention it at all? And how has this not been discussed in the community up until this point in time? Because this is some crazy stuff going on right here. Who is this scientist? How did he use Capsule Corp technology? What is he really trying to gather this energy for? There are many questions behind this, but we are still not done at this moment in time. I asked him, I never bought this, so does it happen at random? And he goes on to say, if I remember correctly, it varies between the sagas you're in. He'll say different things either when you decline to go on Legend Patrol or walk up and talk to it. Sometimes it's casual talk or just trying to be funny, but the bulk of the shady stuff it says is when you decline. I'll send you the rest there's just a few more. Now, he says, just try and forget what I was talking about earlier. He was talking about in regards to like the scientists, how Legend Patrol system was created, all things like that. So now these, I believe, are the last ones right here. Oh, he actually sent me another one since we started making this video. So we'll take a look at that one. I haven't seen it personally, but I have seen these right here. Now he says, commencing Legend Patrol system check. System check complete. No errors detected. History, alteration, energy, absorption, device fully functional. All system go. Initializing boot sequence. Ah. Wait, you didn't hear that, did you? Did you? Well, everything's fine. You didn't hear a thing. So, once again, he doesn't go beep, beep, zap here. But, once again, he does basically say, like, yo, you didn't hear what the hell I was just talking about. Completely forget that from your memory. If it was possible, my mans would be on some Men in Black shit and literally use the pen to warp the CAC's mind at this point right here. Because it seems like nobody is supposed to know what the hell he's talking about. I'm assuming the robot is just goddamn bored and talking to himself because he ain't got nobody else to talk to in his damn time nest. That's my assumption as to why he's talking. But the stuff he's talking about some scientists from the demon realm and a lot about energy absorption, just like how Few is absorbing energy with the alterations that he's making in the Xenoverse 2 DLC story modes we have been getting. So again, all of this is insanely interesting, like insanely interesting. I don't know how to connect these dots exactly, who they connect to, or even if we will ever find out ourselves who these dots actually connect to. But the fact that they put this in the game is without a doubt, again, very interesting. I mean, I've used that word many times in this video, but it's the actual truth. Like, I don't know of another word that actually describes this Easter egg right here on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Now, he says this right here. Oh, and you can use this as well. Since Wipa said, I might have told you before that the Legend Time Patrol system was created using Capsule Corp technology. This is just going back to it, mentioning that. He says, this amazing system combines the Time Volt powers with the Capsule Corporation's new tech. Fancy, right? So, again, he mentions the Capsule Corp right there and how it uses some Capsule Corp tech. But again, we saw how he said that this was really built by some scientists in the demon realm. He talks about this genius scientist. He talks about taking up energy, absorbing energy from the alterations in time with the Legend Time Patrol system. So it just really makes me think, what the hell is he talking about? Or who the hell is he talking about, I should say? And what is he absorbing this energy for? Was the Legend Patrol Pack actually added in to Xenoverse 2 for a bigger reason than just having people be able to play the Xenoverse 1 story? Because this robot does make it seem that way. Like, he does make it seem like there is something bigger going on with this Legend Patrol system than what you see at face value. If you don't decline this man and talk to this man quite a bit, you won't actually find these things out. So again, to me, it is very, very interesting and probably the craziest Easter egg I've ever seen on this game. Because again, this is not something that is mentioned by the devs. Really, you don't see anybody talk about it in the community. Like, I've never really seen this talked about when it comes to Xenoverse 2 before, and I just find it insanely interesting. And I really wish we would get some more clarification at some point in time in regards to this. Because like I said, I don't know if they just put this in the game to mess with people. Like, there are some Easter eggs put in video games to mess with people. This definitely could be one of those. Or I don't know if there's actually some true secret meaning that we will find out later in the future when it comes to this. But either way, at the end of the day, this is without a doubt something that I did not know about, and something that, once again, is insanely interesting. And there goes that word interesting again, but like I said, that is what defines this without a doubt. So let me know what you think about this down below in the comments. And huge shout out to the homie Shadow Saiyan 1 for this, because without him, I literally would have never even known that this was a thing. And this is definitely blowing my mind in terms of how interesting and just, you know, curious I am about this situation right here with who this scientist is and what is he actually collecting this energy for, because we have not seen anything in regards to those two things yet at this point in time. So again, let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments. What do you think this could mean? All things like that. But till next time, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, hope you have a good one. Peace, y'all.